Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Kunya Bihari Gopi Janabalabha Girivardhuri Gopi Janabalabha Girivardhuri Yasudanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yasudanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tera Banachate Yamuna Tera Banachate Jayarano Madhova Kunya Bihari Jayarado Madhova Kunya Bihari Gopi Janabalabha Girivardhari Girivardhari Gopi Janabalabha Girivardhari Yasudanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasudanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tera Banachate Yamuna Tera Banachate Jayarano Madhava Kunya Bihari Jayarano Madhava Kunya Bihari The Madhava Kunya Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravidikacharya, also Tada Sitashi Shimad. His Divine Grace Abhaya Charanad Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anandakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Shiva Siddhi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Sayama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Maturidam Ki Jai Jagannath Swami Ki Jai Yamudamari Ki Jai Shrimati Lasidevi Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Gaur. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nwa Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya. Putale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Samani Chinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi. Gauravani Pacharani Nivashesha Shunyavadi Paschachate Shatarni. Could someone make sure that they close that kitchen door? Because whoever's cooking, they always leave the door open and it sucks all the cold air. It's supposed to be shut anyway. It's not responsible. Yeah, just make sure they close that kitchen door. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 58th chapter, text 43. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Saptaite Go Vrisha Vira Durdanta Duravagraha Etar Vagna Su Bahavo Brina Gatra Rapatmajaha Saptaite Go Vrishaviraha Durdanta Duravagraha Etar Bhagna Subhavo Minagatra Nripatmajaha Sabtaite Go Vrishaviraha Durdanta Duravagraha Etar Bhagna Subhavo Vinagatra Nripatmajaha Sabtaite Go Vrishaviraha Durdanta Duravagraha Etar Bhagna Subhavo Vinagatra Nripatmajaha Sapta, seven. Ete, these. Govrisha, bulls. Vira, O hero. Durdanta, wild. Duravagraha, unbreakable. Etai, by them. Bhagna, defeated. Subhava, very many. Bina, broken. Gatra, their limbs. Nripa, of kings. Atmaja, sons. Translation: these 7 wild bulls are impossible to tame, O hero. They have defeated many princes, breaking their limbs. So you can repeat. These 7 wild bulls are impossible to tame, O hero. They have defeated many princes, breaking their limbs. So there's no purport by the followers of Srila Prabhupada, so we're just going to read the commentary here. Clearing himself and his people of fault, he then explains the rule. When Krishna accepted, the king went to the bullpen and pointed with his finger. These Ete are the 7 bulls. They have broken the limbs of the princes and defeated them. By this, he suggests that by this, he had arranged for the defeat of the princes who were Krishna's enemies. O hero, Viral, by your strength you will control the bulls. And pretty much the next commentary by Sanatana Goswami is the same. I'll just read part of it. They were the sons of kings, young and strong. By your prowess you will tie them up all by yourself. O joy of the Yadus, you should to this give joy. That's not such good grammar here. To the Yadus. O husband of Lakshmi, I agree to this because you are the master of Lakshmi. So I'm going to continue for a while. So next text, 44. Yadime nigrekitashus tvayaivat yadu nandana varo bhavan abhimatto duiturme shriyapate. If you could subdue them, O descendant of Yadu, you will certainly be the appropriate bridegroom for my daughter, O Lord of Shri. So, in this sentence, Yad means if, or more correctly, because. Because you control the 7 bulls, you could marry my daughter. By addressing Krishna as the master of Lakshmi, he declares that Krishna is her husband, since he can control the bulls. He had kept the bulls just to be killed by Krishna, as they were inimical to him. And Jiva Goswami states, yet he indicates certainty, as in the following, Datsi padam tvam avita yadi vigna mordini. Because you are the direct protector of devotees, he is able to step over the head of whatever obstacle the demigods place before him. That's Bhagavatam 11:4-10. You will certainly subdue the bulls, or since you will subdue the bulls, you will be the appropriate groom. You alone are suitable, since others will not be able to do this because the bulls are strong and the bulls cannot harm you because they are only bulls. In order to fulfill our desires and our promise, you should do this. You should also do this to give joy to the Yadus. And Sanatana Goswami, just one sentence in Sanatana Goswami's purport. Oh, you are the appropriate groom, since you are the husband of Rukmini. Text 45. Evam samayam akarnya bodva parikaram prabho atmanam saptata kritva nyagrinal lilayayavatan. Upon hearing these terms, the Lord tightened his clothing, expanded himself into 7 forms, and easily subdued the bulls. And there is a purport here. According to Srila Sridhar Swami, Lord Krishna expanded himself into 7 forms not only to playfully defeat the 7 bulls, but also to show Princess Satya that she would not have to compete with his other queens, since he could enjoy with all of them simultaneously. And I'm skipping Vishwanath Chakravarti's Thakur commentary. Jiva Goswami states, after hearing this rule, the Lord bound his clothing. It should be understood that he smiled, he bound his clothing tightly, showing that he was fully capable, Prabhu, or being capable because of previous practice as a coward. Expanding his form into 7, he easily subdued the bulls. The word Eva can also indicate that it only appeared that he had 7 forms since he moved so quickly. And text 46, Bhadvatan damabi shorir, Wagna darpan hatojasa, Vyakarsha liliya bhaddan, Balodaru mayanyata. Lord Shauri tied up the bulls whose pride and strength were now broken and pulled them with ropes just as a child playfully pulls toy wooden bulls. And Jiva Goswami states the same thing. So, anyway, so go back. So, Omagana Timidanda Shah, Gananjana Shilakaya, Chakshur Unmilitam Yena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, actually, I'm going to read the commentary or the depiction of this particular pastime by Srila Jiva Goswami and the Gopal Champu, because it's really interesting in this regard. We'll continue here. That daughter, named Satya, gave up everything because of desire for Krishna. The lightning of her glance appeared on the new cloud of his complexion. The rain of tears appeared on the new cloud of his complexion. Actually, a rain of tears appeared when his voice vibrated like thunder. Not attaining his nature, she moistened everything with her tears. When her father saw she was attracted to Krishna, joy overtook his heart. But he had an enemy in the form of his brother's son named Brihad Bala. At the insistence of friends combined with strong armies, the king could not do as he wanted. After much thinking, he concluded as follows: an action must be found for which no Kshatriya has the power, and by which skill from practice cannot succeed, by which Govinda, who is endowed with all powers and who has enthroned by the Devatas, headed by Indra and Surabhi, can perform. The opportunity should be found in simultaneously tying up 7 bulls raised with joy, which cannot be moved by anyone, which have the nature of great demons, which cannot tolerate the smell of heroes, which are filled with anger, and which possess unconquerable power. After thinking in this way, with the permission of Brihadbala, he saw that the groups of warriors, powerful kings of the world, who had been summoned by Brihadbala and had close association with him, all got their limbs broken by the bulls. Consulting with the wise, he called Krishna with affection. Nanda said, then what happened? The messengers said, with a huge army for support. Krishna came with an excited heart. Arjuna and Balaram came with him, knowing the affection and intentions of the king. He sent him a message through one of the leaders in secret in order to subdue or be subdued by the 7 bulls, which could not be controlled by the whole world. O king, what you have decided is something of Indra's capacity. Your desire to give your daughter to the person who can bind the bulls out of a desire for finding the strongest person is only a pretext. This is not an agreement for Kshatriya Dharma to give in exchange for a tax. I ask for your daughter out of affection as one asks for a boon from a devata. I do not desire to pay the tax. Ashamed, the king sent a reply through the messengers. Your words are correct. I did not arrange this exchange for my daughter, but I have decided that taming the 7 bulls in exchange for my daughter is the way that you could marry her. The messenger said, Krishna smiled and did as the king desired. Krishna tied up the demoniac bulls with sharp horns fixed on killing everyone that could not be touched, that galloped about in the strong enclosure, roaming fiercely with strong breathing. Seeing those bulls, the universe shouted in dismay and became blind. To bind the bulls, Krishna's body became like a rope, and the rope was incidental for stunning the bulls and all enemies. He shone like the midday sun among them. So, anyway, so what I want to speak about today was a word that was used in the first verse we read, which is vira, which is heroic. And in reference to that, I want to make reference to a verse spoken by Lord Kapila about Krishna consciousness, and famous verse, Satam prasangam mama virya samvado, bhavanti ritkarna rasayana kata, Tejoshana dasu apavarga vartmani, shraddha ratira bhakti anukramishati. So what this verse states is, Satam prasangam, when one hears about Krishna in the association of pure devotees, and of course we understand that one should only hear about Krishna from devotees, as stated, Vaishnava mukod girnam putam harikatam ritam shavananaiva kartavyam sarpo chistiyatapayam, that one should not hear about Krishna from those who are not Vaishnavas. And that has poisonous effect like milk touched by the lips of a serpent. So, Satam Prasangam, and then Mama Virya Samvada, that talks about, and here's that word Virya again. You know, Krishna's showing this heroic nature. Mama Virya Samvada, that means talks. Samvada means talks about Krishna's heroic activities. Bhavanti Ritkarna Rasayana Kata, that the transcendental sound vibration goes from the ear to the heart, and it has a medicinal effect. Like we hear this word rasayana, and those of you who are familiar with Vedic medicine or Ayurvedic medicine, you know about Brahmi rasayana, Jiva rasayana. I remember one year in Mayapur, there was an Ayurvedic doctor, and he was selling big containers of Jiva rasayana and Brahmi. I don't know if you remember that. Brahmi rasayana that was supposed to make your brain better, and all the devotees were buying it to get a better brain. So anyway, rasayana kata, it talks about Krishna, rasayana kata. And then, interestingly enough, Jajoshana dasya pavarga vartmani shraddha ratir bhakti anukramishati. So the progress of devotional service is described that, first of all, one gets liberated, but the process is shraddha ratir bhakti anukramishati. That, first of all, there is faith. So I'm going to connect that word faith with vira, or heroism. Okay, how do we connect that? It's quite interesting. That we notice, not only in this particular story of Krishna defeating all these bulls, that there are so many stories of Krishna performing heroic activities. Now, what is the purpose? Because we have to talk about the purpose of the narration of all these stories. Of course, they actually occurred, but the purpose is to invoke in us the sense that Krishna is protecting us and maintaining us. As we know from the 6 surrendering principles or practices, that the Lord is always maintaining his devotees, and the Lord is always protecting his devotees. And of course, what does it mean to be a devotee anyway? That's described by Krishna in the Gita. Ananyas chintayanto mam yejanak payupasate tesham nechipayuktamam yogakshema vahamiham. So this is very similar to this particular concept. Ananyas chintayanto mam. That means one who has no other focus for his consciousness. Yogakshema Vahamayaham. So I carry, which is pretty much the protection and the maintenance, I carry what he lacks, and I protect what he has. So this is Krishna's guarantee. So therefore, when we hear these stories more and more, and I was noting down some of the stories that were there of Krishna doing amazing heroic things. Of course, first of all, let's talk about what heroism is. I also looked up the definition of hero yesterday to try to understand this. So hero is sometimes defined as someone who risks his life in order to do something wonderful. And also, there's another description that someone who simply does something wonderful and amazing. So I was thinking about this in terms of the first description that is there in the dictionary, someone who risks his life. Now, one could say that Krishna is not risking his life, right? Because he's a Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as we know, he has a transcendental body. Ajopi sana vyatma bhutanam mishropisham praptim prakatim shvamadishtayam. Yeah. Sambhavami atmamaya. He comes down in his original transcendental body. So what's the risk of his life? He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can accomplish anything any way he wants. However, Krishna is feeling like he's taking a chance. You understand? Because that's the Yogamaya potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That he forgets. Otherwise, it wouldn't even be interesting for Krishna. You know, not only is he assuring Satya, you know, that she's going to be all right, you know, because he manifests 7 different forms to attack these 7 different bulls, which he's actually doing by moving very fast. He's like the original Flash. Gopal would like that one. Flash is one of the superheroes. He moves so fast, he appears in these different places simultaneously. So not only is he assuring Satya, not only is he impressing people, not only is he helping Nagnajit attain his particular goal of getting his daughter married to Krishna and not having to worry about his brother that's mentioned here. However, he is actually enjoying what's called the Vira Ras. That's actually a Ras, indirect Ras. Vira Ras means heroism. You know, he's enjoying and also feeling that he's risking himself, which is quite interesting. He's not thinking, you know, this is, otherwise it'd be boring for him. Can you imagine? Being God would probably be the most boring thing in the 3 worlds if you always remembered you were God. Just like the Christians, I've seen many Christian pamphlets, that they depict God sitting there on a throne, and what is he doing? He's judging people. You know, naughty, nice, you go to hell, you go to heaven. Oh my God. Oh yes, oh my God. So anyway, so it's quite boring. So Krishna is thinking, I mean, in many instances, of course, in the Vrindavan pastimes, we see that Krishna is just wondering, what should I do? Like with the Aghasura demon. When the Aghasura demon swallowed all the coward boys, then Krishna was just thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen? You know, what should I do? And then he finally remembers, oh, I have this power. So this is actually quite interesting from a rasa standpoint, that Krishna's enjoying himself by doing this. And so there's many things accomplished by Krishna's heroic activities. And for me, it just reassures me. So So anyways, getting back to the point of Shraddha, so we actually get great faith in Krishna consciousness, which is actually the first priority in becoming Krishna conscious. Radha Ratir Rakti Anukarameshati, or as described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangota Vajanakriya. In the beginning, there must be a little bit preliminary faith. But then real faith comes when you come to the point of Shada Shabde, Visha Sakahe, Sudrida Nishchaya, according to Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. When one comes to the point of understanding, if we simply do what Krishna wants, then everything is accomplished. And that is Sharanagati. So the other items of Sharanagati, which I didn't mention, of course, are accepting everything favorable, rejecting everything unfavorable, and that's also dependent on faith. I mean, just like you see that all of us are doing things as devotees, hopefully we're doing things as devotees, that are really go against the whole grain, at least those of us who weren't born in the Hare Krishna movement. You know, Ishvara is different. He was born in the Hare Krishna movement. But we're going against the whole grain of what's happening in society. You know, just like sometimes I go traveling in the airport and it's just, I'm so much different. Even if I'm wearing Western clothes, no such thing as Karmi clothes. Even if, you know, Western clothes or whatever, traditional clothes, traditional Western clothes. Even I'm wearing Western clothes, it's just like, it's so much different. And there's so much pressure, not anymore, I don't feel that, but at least when I was young, there's so much pressure just to be like everybody else. You know, to look like everyone else, to act like everyone else. And there I am in the airport, and, you know, even in Western clothes, with a bead bag walking through the airport chanting japa, moving my mouth so everybody thinks I may have some mental problems, or at least I have some earbuds in or something. So you gotta have faith to be able to do those things. I mean, it's one thing, you're born in an Indian family and, you know, their whole life, you know, you've been worshiping Krishna, like many of our South Indian friends. They're worshiping Krishna. But it's just like, it's a leap of faith. And in order to be able to make that leap, one needs that reinforcement. And the reinforcement, of course, is the hearing about Krishna's heroic activities. There's other types of reinforcement, too. I mean, there's the association of devotees. That's why Prabhupada would often say that one should always remain in the association of devotees, because we reinforce our behavior. And then the observation of great devotees, like this Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada and other devotees who are making spiritual advancement. This increases our faith. So, therefore, it's very important, getting back to the whole purpose of this discussion, to read about how Krishna always protects his devotees. Like Krishna breaking his promise in the battlefield of Kurukshetra to protect Arjuna from grandfather Bhishma's advances. Or Krishna arranging for the battlefield of Kurukshetra example again. Krishna arranging for the sun apparently to have set to protect Arjuna from committing suicide because he had vowed to kill Jayadratha that day. Or Krishna, this is not battle of Kurukshetra example, but Krishna actually taking Arjuna to see Mahavishnu to protect Arjuna from committing suicide. I mean, it's amazing. If you list all the, of course, Prahlad Maharaj, that's the most appropriate, or not even appropriate, but the most famous story about Krishna protecting. So the Bhagavatam has so many stories. Krishna protecting the Pandavas, Krishna protecting Prahlad Maharaj, Krishna protecting the demigods, the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a whole litany of stories of Krishna protecting the demigods, and they keep losing, and then Krishna keeps coming. I mean, like when the demigods offended, or Indra offended a spiritual master, Brahaspati, by taking, actually it wasn't Brahaspati at that point, Durvasa Muni. He offended Durvasa Muni by taking Durvasa Muni's garland had given him and giving it to his elephant, and the elephant trampled the garland. Then Indra and his demigods lost all their power, and they demons became more powerful. Then they had to go to Vishnu. Vishnu said, okay, why don't you make a deal, churn the milk ocean. And so they began to churn the milk ocean, and didn't, let's go back a little bit. So they needed the Mount Mandara to churn the milk ocean, and Mount Mandara crushed all the demigods and demons, so they had to go to Krishna again. Okay, pick it up on the back of Garuda, bring Mount Mandara so it can churn the milk ocean. And then Krishna had to take the form of a Jitta to help churn it. Krishna had to take the form of a tortoise so the mountain could rest on him. Krishna had to take another form on top of the mountain to just balance the mountain. I mean, it's just amazing. And then after it was all over, the demons stole the nectar. And then they go to Krishna again. So you see this again and again and again, especially 8th canto is pretty interesting in this regard. Again and again, they go to Krishna. Krishna, we can't do anything about it. The demons got the nectar. And Krishna says, okay, becomes Mohini Murti, tricks the demons, and the demigods take the nectar. Then after that, of course, Rahu takes a little bit of the nectar, and Krishna cuts off his neck, and then there's a fight between the demons and the demigods, and then the demons, even though demigods have taken the nectar, the demons are winning in a particular, so they have to call for Krishna again. And then Krishna kills all these demons like Kalanemi and Dviprachiti. And so it's such an interesting story, such interesting stories about Krishna is always protecting his devotees. So, and even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as he's going through the forest, Jharkhand forest, what is he chanting? Krishna, 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 Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raksha Mam, Pahi Mam. So we have to come to the point of begging Krishna to protect us. And of course, the most important protection is protection against what? Krishna's illusory energy. Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patita Mam Vishamay Babambuddha. Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja. Stita Duli Sadrasam Vachintya. O son of Maharaj, I'm your servant, I've fallen down. Give me protection. Situate me as one of the particles of dust or atoms at your lotus feet. So we should be begging. We should be understanding that we're drowning in this material whirlpool, the material ocean. Krishna, help. And that's how we should be chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, questions?
Maharaj, I have a question.
Wives come first.
Oh, I have a question and a comment.
Etiquette.
The comment is like we go through the airport. It's like going into the loony bin, right?
Yeah.
So here we are trying to recover our sanity by following this process.
Yes.
And everybody around is like completely bewildered, totally bewildered.
Yeah.
So, and they want us to be also, come and join us in the loony bin, you know. that's not the issue. The other point is, when you travel in your devotional clothes, how is it different for you?
And my devotional clothes, yes, my Western clothes are also devotional clothes.
Yeah, but I'm saying, when you travel wearing these devotional clothes, how is that different from traveling in your Western clothes?
How is it different? The reason I travel with Western clothes is because when I have to go to the bathroom, I mean, I have to be specific about this. It's very difficult in the plain bathroom and everything, like everything gets really messy.
Actually, I refer to the reception that you get.
Reception is not different.
Same
It's not
thing.
different. Yeah, there's
So
no
people don't kind of stare because you are a sannyasi. They say, oh, this is a holy man.
What's that?
The people don't look at you in your devotional clothes and say, oh, this is a sadhu, a
No.
holy man, a priest.
No,
They
that's
don't?
my
Okay.
experience. I just one thing before you ask that question is that, yeah, when traveling through the airport, it's like going through the Matrix. Anyway, so
they grow up in a tradition, but they really have to, if they come to the West, do the same thing.
that's true. Yeah, they succumb to social pressure.
Yeah, so they have to hear it also, because there's no support other than.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they definitely need association with that. And so the main thing is that we have to have that faith, even though we're doing something so diametrically opposed to what's happening in society at large. And that requires regular hearing. Satam prasangam mama virya sambhado. Virya, hearing about Krishna's heroic activities like conquering the bulls.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Enam Kanvandam Maravindanalaya Taksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundaram Kandar Ako Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Andani Asa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Vivam Vikayanti Tiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham
Namakum Vishnu Pataya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutane Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Guru Samaniti Nomine Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Guruvani Vacha, Sesha, Shunyavani, Vasachaga, Tesatavane. Asajade Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Siva Sadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Siva Sati Gaurabhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Guru Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadada Siva Sati Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Jaya Radha, Lukinana, Radha Lukinana, Radha Re. Jaya Radha, Lukinana, Radha Lukinana, Radha Re. Narad, hey, Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri Radhe. Jai Om Vishnu Pad. Austin, Tennessee.